Hey everybody, welcome to etrailer.com. I'm Bobby, and today we're taking a look at the Holiday Racks Destination 4 bike rack carrier here on the back of our 2013 Ford Explorer. So this is going to be an excellent way if we're looking to get a multitude of bikes to our destination, whether we have, a family of 4 or just a couple friends we want to take along with us on our trips. What's really awesome about this, we're going to have a lot of versatility in this rack. Now, just taking a look at it, it is not the prettiest rack out there. I know a lot of people around the shop, it's just not their favorite. It just doesn't look that good. However, I think you're going to become a bigger fan of it, just like I have, once you see how well the job it actually does of securing our bikes. And again, you really can't beat the versatility on this thing. So, what do I mean by that? Well, we are going to have a center frame hold on here. So what's awesome about this cradle right here has 360 degrees of revolution available for itself. So if we have a vertical, diagonal, or horizontal frame, we're going to be A-OK in knowing that we can actually hold onto it and secure it here onto our carrier. And as well as, you can see that the run on this guy is quite large. So whether we have a taller bike or those shorter BMXers or even those step-through bikes, hopefully we can go down and actually clamp onto that bottom frame, which is excellent. So that versatility is amazing, and with a 35-pound weight capacity per bike, we're going to have a pretty A-OK time throwing almost any bike on here. Now, to that end, if you start getting into your maybe 48-inch wheelbase, super big old mountain bikes that are already starting to push up to that 40-pound weight limit, that's where you're probably not going to be, or this is probably not going to be the right bike rack for you. And to that end as well, if we do have any carbon frame bikes, I would just be a little hesitant with this guy. The reason is, no, we don't have any direct compression on the top or the bottom of our frame. However, that side mount still is our primary hold on here. And I could just see a little flex in mine there. So I'm not ruling it out completely, but do kind of take that with a grain of salt, and let's be careful with our carbon frame bikes as we want them to last us for the years to come. Now, taking a look here at the end of the rack, I really like these white reflectors too. Just excellent, so that way everybody behind us knows where our black rack is, right? Whether we're coming home late from a long road trip or we just stayed out a little bit trying to get that last little bit of sun with our ride. Love that people behind us can go ahead and make sure that us, our family, or our friends get home safe. Now, these cradles here too are going to have this little adjustable strap that's near it. And I really do like these guys. The rubber on here does a great job of protecting the rims of our wheels. The eye hole here makes it really nice to cinch it on through and really tighten it up to our frame. Of course, that lever system works really well, not popping up unless I hit it. Now, this guy is transposable. All we have to do, back off our speed knob here with our hand, Lefty, Loosey, of course, and we could set that pin here. Now, it's helpful, yes, and it kind of speaks to that versatility once again, but you're really talking about a really short wheelbase at that point. Personally, I wish there was another mounting option here so I could actually have it further for our longer wheelbases, but that is kind of just what we're working with, so that's something to keep in mind. Love that, and especially it is going to be good for those BMX bikes again and kids bikes with those shorter wheelbases. Nice that we're kind of helping those guys out, which is awesome. Well, taking a look here at our bike, let's see how it's interacting on the back of our Explorer. Taking a direct look here in the back, I can see that it's not really interacting too bad with our tail lights. Now, as soon as we get 4 bikes on here, there's going to be a lot more objects in the way of our light fixtures, of course. Now, what's great, though, we have really good distance, so that means the emittance of that light is going to be A-OK. People are going to see that red, and of course, we do have our top cowling with our reflectors in mind as well. This guy does seem pretty safe to me. Now, to that end, though, we do have a backup camera on our Ford Explorer. As you load up 4 bikes on here, you're pretty much going to lose all visibility. That's just something that's going to happen. What I am really interested to see how this does when I fold up my rack closer to my vehicle and actually where that puts that backup camera in relation to our frame. But it's not going to take me too long to get the bike off. I'm going to begin with our rear strap and then our front strap. Again, just that little lever system releases that ratcheting strap. Bring myself over to the other side. Hit it just like so. Get it on the other side of my tire. Can be just a little helpful, but that does bring us to our last hold on our bike. We're going to make sure we're doing a good job of keeping hold of it. And I kind of like to take my offhand here, press that in, and then just kind of pull these guys through. And that way, I'm getting contact on my frame, keeping it nice and tight. It's not going to be falling into that vehicle. And now I can simply grab it. If you need to, you can move yourself off to the side to help assist it. And just like that, we can grab it, and we're ready to ride. So, taking a look at it, definitely not too bad of mounting options. The one thing to kind of keep in mind, you can see how those straps really kind of want to get in your way. So that's definitely something you kind of have to watch. But at the end of the day, not going to be too hard, just to simply either rotate this guy just a little bit and sneak them under like that, and then you can set your bike in place, bring your strap, rotate it back into position, and start securing it down. Now, unfortunately for the Hollywood Destination Rack, it doesn't actually have a tilt-away feature. I will say that's probably the biggest thing that this rack is missing. However, it is a little plastic fantastic, and I think that's kind of why we are keeping, you know, the solid support structure in mind, and that's why we don't have that tilting capability. If that's something that's really important to you and you want that quick access to your hatch without having to take your bikes off like the Destination is forcing us to do, you could look at something like the Kuat Envy 2.0. However, you are going to be talking about a very premium bike rack, especially compared to this one. One that might be a little bit more similar is going to be that the Rocky Mounts Monorail 2 bike platform rack, and then to that you get a third bike extension. However, keep in mind we're already going down to a 2-bike platform rack at that position, so that's kind of the pros and cons that we're getting here with the Destination. To lower our mast, to actually open up our hatch here though, we're going to bring ourselves right to the middle. One more speed knob to maneuver here, and all I got to do, Lefty Loosey, back that off. That's going to allow me to take this cam lever, set it off to the side, and what I like to do as well, take my extra strap here, push this down, run that through, and I can secure that mast, and now it can't pop up, right? Which is going to be excellent for when we actually fold this up. But now I can get to the back here of my Explorer, open up that hatch. Now I'm going to have access to those bike helmets, coolers, anything else I might need from the inside. Now again, not going to be as quick and easy as just leaving your bikes on your carrier, but you still love having the option to do so. And again, especially when you're at the trailhead, essential to actually get all of your items. So with a quick close of that, let's go ahead and keep some dimensions in mind. The first one being our clearance that we're actually going to be working with here, and of course, how much length we're adding to our vehicle. So let's go ahead and take a look at that clearance here today. So from the ground to the end of our carrier, which is all the way to the end of the wings here, that's going to be putting us right at 19.5 inches there. So pretty good distance in mind there. One thing that's nice too, you can see we have that natural rise there in our carrier, making sure we're not going to have any interactions with our bikes on the ground. Now the one thing I'll say to that though, let's be sure that we are approaching a very steep incline. We're just taking a little kind of easy on ourselves. 19.5 inches, again, should be plenty of clearance. I'm not too worried about it, but just keep in mind as those front wheels go up, the rear will go down, and so will your hitch-mounted accessories. So taking a look from the rear of the bumper to the end of our carrier is going to give us the amount of length that we're adding on to our Explorer. So from the back of the bumper here today to the very end, that's going to be putting me right over 39. So about 39.25 of an inch to the end of that Reflector there. Definitely not too bad. You know, that's almost just 10 inches per bike. And you got to keep in mind, we've got a lot of handlebars, a lot of interaction with those bikes, and that's kind of what you're going to be working with. So that's pretty standard, and we do have a way of actually shortening down that length. So maybe we want to pull this in the garage, or we're at that trailhead and it's becoming a little hard to park. We could simply bring ourselves right here to the middle. We're going to have this little retaining clip. Pull that guy out. And now I have another knob. Knobs are the key to this guy. Back that off just a little bit. Once I have enough of that thread exposed, I can simply slide it out. Walk this up towards my vehicle. Again, that's why our mast has been held down. And we're not going to go all the way. There's going to be just kind of like this little resting position here that we're going to need to find. And once we have, we can tighten up our hand knob here. Now, I actually really do like this knob. It's big enough to actually hold on to. You know, I've messed with a lot of accessories, and sometimes a no-good knob can make it no fun. So, nice that it's large and actually can get a good support structure on there to actually secure it here. Because what I really like, too, this isn't going to be moving around. No jostle, no noise in this position. You're going to have a little bit, of course, but nothing too crazy, and it's definitely not going to be impacting our drive. Well, just like that, we've shortened down a lot of that length. Let's see now from the back of our bumper to the end of our carrier. That's going to put me at 12.75 of an inch to the very end of our wings and the back end of our carrier there. So really shortening down a lot of that length, almost 30 inches already getting cut off the floor, which is great. Now, going to have a lot easier time pulling this in the garage, or at the very least, give yourself some maneuverability when you want to get it parked. Moving our way down, though, we can see we do have a 2-inch shank here today, held into by our 2-inch hitch receiver. On the inside of that, too, you are seeing a threaded anti-rattle bolt, which is holding us in line, compressing our shank into our hitch. And as you guys are going to see here in just a second, I can shake the vehicle. I can just shake my carrier, and it will shake the entire vehicle, just like so. And that means we're all in line with one system, taking all that shake and play out, making for a nicer, smoother ride for ourselves, our bike rack, especially our bikes. Now on the inside of that too, let me go ahead and grab it for you real quick. You are seeing a little locking cord that comes included. This is excellent, of course, to secure your carrier to your bike when you leave it unattended, and you got a spare to boot, which is always nice if you're like me and just a little forgetful. Really like how that works. I'm just going to retain it for now, though. Overall, the destination here is an excellent bike rack. Again, I know it's not everybody's favorite. It's a little clunky. It has these extra straps. It's definitely not the prettiest rack. But, you know, at the end of the day, we just want something to actually get our bikes to that destination, right, and start having some fun. And what more can you ask? Again, there are going to be a lot of premium options out there that are going to give you the same capabilities as this guy. However, those might just start breaking the bank, and that's why I really like the destination here. Now, one thing I did want to look at, though, is that backup camera. Looking at it now, I can see we are going to have a lot of frame interaction. So, are we going to have a little visibility? Yes. Bigger objects, probably going to be easier to see, but we're really not going to get any kind of precise information from that backup camera. Otherwise, though, guys, I think that about does it for our look here today at the Holiday Racks destination for bike rack carrier here on our 2013 Ford Explorer. I'm Bobby. Thank you for watching.
Now we're going to go ahead and take it on our test course. First, we'll start with the slaloms. This is going to show the side-to-side action. It's kind of going to mimic the movements that you'll see whenever you're driving down the road normally. Now we'll have the alternating speed bumps. This is going to be more so like the uneven roads and some of that uneven terrain you might be traveling on, and see how it holds up.